The cable sang a note I'd never heard before, something between a groan and a whistle. And I knew we were close to whatever lay in the trench, 3,000 meters below us. The Meridian's hydrophones had picked up a signature too regular to be geology.
Suspended in the observation sphere, I watched sodium lights carve through water so old.
We are working hard to entertain you, so please subscribe to our channel.
It might have been there since the continents were young.
I'd been a marine geologist for 11 years before economics turned me into a salvage specialist.
This mission felt different. The anomaly was too linear, too deliberate for any known wreck.
Marcus piloted the sphere, his hands moving with the unconscious precision of a lifetime in small spaces.
I'd learned to read his silences. This was the quiet of concern.
The hydrophone crackled. Below us, metal was doing something metal shouldn't do at this depth.
At 3,400 meters, the lights touched bottom. A plane of accumulated nothing.
The object emerged from the sediment, like a thought surfacing from sleep.
Its scale made no immediate sense. A cylinder, too large and too deliberately engineered. The far end was collapsed, metal buckled inward from impact or implosion.
Marcus pointed to a small plaque, partially obscured. An African-American female with short hair activated the manipulator arm.
I used the gripper like a brush, clearing away 53 years of accumulation. Letters emerged. Property of U.S. Department of Defense. Date, September 1973.
53 years. This had been sitting in the trench, hidden by depth and darkness. The response from the surface updated the plan. And the estimated value.
$120 million. What could possibly justify that number?
The work of clearing sediment took 7 hours, an exhausting ballet of precision in the dark.
The Meridian deployed its heavy lift cables at dawn. Each cable was a column of braided steel.
Attaching the harnesses required precision bordering on the surgical. Absolute concentration.
When the fourth cable was secured, we backed away, ready for ascent on their command.
Then it moved. With the inevitability of continental drift, sediment poured away in clouds.
The cables sang with tension, a deep vibration I felt in my chest. The ascent had begun. We followed it up through layers of water, past bioluminescent creatures like liquid stars.
At 1,500 meters, we surfaced to decompress. My body adjusted in painful stages. I climbed onto the deck, needing to watch this object finally emerge into light and air.
The cable's angle steepened. Water began to pour from them in sheets. The moment was here.
It broke the surface end first, the sealed hatch emerging like a breaching whale.
It rose steadily, revealing its length, coated in 53 years of deep-sea growth.
The crew activated the deck pumps, washing away decades of accumulation. The cylinder's true surface emerged, dark gray metal, pitted but sound, its precision obvious.
Lowered onto its cradle, it looked both ancient and newly made. A recovered mystery.
Technicians cleaned the main hatch. 8 heavy bolts, sealed for 53 years.
I understood then. Some things are hidden not because they're forgotten, but remembered too well. The ocean keeps what we give it until we're ready to ask for it back.
We sailed on through the dark, carrying recovered cargo toward whatever purpose justified it.
I was simply the person who helped move it from one time to another, through the dark.
This cinematic sequence, now 40 scenes in, maintains continuity through every transition. The narrative flow is everything.
The cylinder waited on deck, patient in a new way, surrounded by air instead of pressure.
I didn't touch it. Some thresholds feel too significant to cross casually.
Every rivet, every seam was a record, a ledger of its long isolation in the dark.
We'd gone down into the crushing dark, found what we were sent to find.
We'd gone down into the crushing dark, found what we were sent to find.
The rest, the contents, the purpose, belong to people in offices far from the ocean.
The security classifications were extensive. This was never just about salvage.
Dawn came. The ocean turned from black to blue, but the trench's memory was on our deck.
Technicians worked through the night, documenting, scanning, trying to see without opening.
The Meridian sailed on, a tiny island of light and noise, carrying a secret from the silent world.
This mission blurred that line. The value was abstract, but the object was profoundly real.
Life on the ship continued, but everything orbited the silent mass on the forward deck.
Was it documents? Material samples? Something that required absolute isolation for decades?
No thermal signature, no radiation spike. It was just inert, waiting.
We passed ordinary ships carrying ordinary cargo. None knew what traveled with us.
During the ascent, I'd felt a technician's focus. Now, I felt an archaeologist's unease.
The 1973 stamp. What world sealed this away? What world needed it back now?
Marcus had piloted the recovery. His quiet now wasn't concern, but contemplation.
53 years is a long bet to place on the future.
The ocean doesn't care about bets. It just accepts what is given and waits.
We were 2 days from port, from the handoff, from surrendering this mystery.
The call came at twilight. The receiving team was ready. Security would be extreme.
I confirmed the timeline, the coordinates, the condition. I did not ask the questions in my head.
My part was nearly done. The translation from deep sea echo to physical object was complete.
It became a monument on deck. A piece of one era delivered to another.
The final morning. A low mist clung to the water, as if the ocean was reluctant to let go.
We covered it. The last act before port was to hide it again, this time in plain sight.
The coast appeared. The end of the journey for us. The beginning of a new one for it.
The security team approached first, swift and silent over the calm water.
Credentials were checked in silence. The atmosphere shifted from operational to clandestine.
I showed him the object. His eyes assessed it not as a mystery, but as an asset. A package.
Then the transport vessel arrived. Larger, anonymous, built for heavy lifting, not science.
The two ships coupled in the open water, a temporary, floating transfer station.
It hung there for a moment, between worlds, between custodians.
I felt an unexpected hollow. The weight of forgetting was now someone else's to carry.
It touched deep down on the new deck. The canopy closed around it like a cocoon.
I signed the transfer. A digital confirmation that the object was no longer in our care.
The transport vessel didn't head for shore. It turned and moved back toward the open ocean.
Then, a message. Encrypted from a source I didn't recognize. My heart sank and raced.
Not empty of everything. Empty of what it once held. A perfect, preserved vessel with no cargo.
The value was in the proof, in the material, in the fact that it survived, pristine, for decades.
The transport vessel sailed on, to a destination known only to its crew and its course plotter.
The cylinder found its laboratory. Its metal was sampled, its seals analyzed, its endurance quantified.
The results were better than projected. The weight had been a perfect test, a triumphant success.
Life on the surface is a different kind of deep. Full of...
My work returned to the foundations, to strata, to core samples, to the slow story of rock. A junior geologist showed me an anomaly. Her eyes held the excitement of a first mystery.
I showed her how to read it, not for treasure, but for history. Her face fell, then understood.
It was a better gift, I think. The truth of the Earth, not the fantasy of what it might hide.
The nodule took its place among other stones, a paperweight for memories I no longer needed to hold. I dreamed I could see through the water. The trench floor was gone, and I was hanging in space.
And of course, I found a seashell. The Earth remembers being ocean, too.
Some things should be left where you find them. Their value is in their context.
The photo went on my board. A reminder that not every discovery needs to be extracted. The photo went on my board. A reminder that not every discovery needs to be extracted.
My door was always open for questions about mud, rock, and time. Honest questions.
My door was always open for questions about mud, rock, and time. Honest questions.
I taught the language of deep time. A story written in layers, not in sonar ghosts. I taught the language of deep time. A story written in layers, not in sonar ghosts.
And the trench? The scar in the sediment began to heal, filled in, grain by the endless rain. Life, patient and opportunistic, moved into the new topography. The ocean forgets differently.
I spoke about subduction zones, about how the ocean floor is recycled into the mantle. The ultimate recovery, not by crane, but by geology. Everything returns, transformed by heat and pressure. I thought, as I stepped away from the podium, that we are all just temporary containers.
I saw a crane against the sky. For a second, my breath caught.
I saw a crane against the sky. For a second, my breath caught.
It was adding to the world, not taking something back from it. The direction mattered.
We sailed in water we could see through. Where the light...
I filed it away. Another small piece added to the collective understanding. A different kind of value.
The weight of forgetting isn't a burden. It's a choice. To let some
The ocean taught me that. Some things are placed in the deep for a reason. We don't need to know it.
Our job is just the recovery, the finding, the bringing back into the light. The rest is history.
Or future, depending on when you ask.
The surface of the ocean holds no trace. It is a perfect blank page.
And the hydrophones listen. And sometimes they hear a note, a groan, or a whistle.
Seen from orbit, the site was just another patch of blue. Geography, not history. In a record center, a file awaited its own declassification date. A story in triplicate forms.
A photograph showed them. The people who built the vessel, who chose the depth, who set the clock.
The recommendation was for patience. An indefinite wait, measured in human lifetimes.
I taught my students to see time in rock. Compressed, patient, and utterly transparent if you know the language. I taught my students to see time in rock. Compressed, patient, and utterly transparent if you know the language.
Look here first. The context is more important than the sample.
That wonder for the thing itself, not its potential value, was the lesson I hoped to teach.
My own work returned to microfossils, the smallest witnesses to the deepest time.
They held no secrets of state, just records of temperature, salinity, life. A purer truth.
An invitation arrived, a discussion on stewardship. I recognized some of the names from the mission chain.
I deferred it. My stewardship was here, in this lab, with these ancient, silent voices.
It opened upward, a portal not to a secret, but to a vastness that made
I carried the nodule with me. A touchstone, not for memory, but for perspective.
I went to see another kind of Leviathan, one that belonged to the deep and was given back by it.
I left it there, a piece of the abyss, returned to a temple of understanding. It felt right.
I left it there, a piece of the abyss, returned to a temple of understanding. It felt right.
The weight was gone. Not forgotten, but transferred. Released into the stream of things.
Home. The fossil on my desk was enough. A story with its beginning, middle, and end, all visible.
I wrote my refusal. Thank you, but my focus is elsewhere. It was true, and it was freeing.
I started a new paper, not about recovery, but about loss. About how the seafloor remembers by burying. The words came easily. They were waiting, like the cylinder, for the right pressure to release them.
My hands were empty. They had placed things into the world and let things go. The balance felt correct.
And in the trench, the filling in was nearly complete. A new layer begun over the old story.
Life, the ultimate opportunist, used the new topography as a current highway.
I fell asleep at my desk, the kind of deep, dreamless sleep that comes from honest exhaustion. The rituals of the surface, heat, aroma, taste,
A different kind of depth here in the morning quiet.
I watch the world begin its day, each person carrying their own weights, their own recoveries.
We go down to bring things back. Sometimes what we bring back is the understanding that we didn't need to.
The ocean remains, blue, deep, and patient, holding its stories close until it doesn't.
The ocean remains, blue, deep, and patient, holding its stories close until it doesn't.